thank you for coming back me. And this is the second page for the report. Before I started this record, I already installed a few library. It is called Oxen. I will use this one to make an Ajax code. And chat.js, React chat.js-2. So this it is the wrap of chat.js. React counter up. This is what you see in the first page. This the function counting up to the latest number. Also, I have like I said, the report page we have a cards and a chart. So we are create two components usable in here. But if you go the cards, I didn't put anything yet, and the chart in here. The cards is pure use a pure material UI style, and instead of typing I will copy paste and talk through it. So on top here you could see I have a React and this card and card content typograph and grid. They all from Material UI code. And this counter up is what I just recently installed. It is for the function design things. You could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're going to 10, the count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For some function design, and I have the card CSS module. I haven't built it, so I'm going to create this file. In here. Instead of typing, I just copy paste the CSS. I think there are not too many different. I explain it. So what this is, just display flex and make sure it's laying out in the center, and the width so won't take 100%. So in the middle, and this width when it is a small screen smaller than 770 pixels, it will take 100%. And you go here, then this is just a pure CSS. And in my cards, I don't make an Ajax code. I will explain to you in the report page. I will make an Ajax code. Once you make the Ajax code in my cards, I expect to have data. And this is distract. I only interest the data. Only interest is confirmed. Like I said, how many confirm, how many recover, how many date, and the last update date. So he have one card. So this is the div container. Make sure this lay in the middle of the page, and then inside here the grid. So you center the grid. Inside the grid, they have three grid for each car. So each car have a card container, and this typograph it will take up the global design, and you could the text second color. It actually is from you text second color from you defined in here. Text second color. If I go in here, if I didn't define it, we are from the not define. If I didn't define it, will be from the define the from the. I didn't define it in here. You can see here, so it will be. They only override the text. Didn't override the. Also in here, it actually in here, text secondary color. So it actually is this color. So you go back to the cards. So it's this one. It will take the second color, and yeah. So what we see one, you will know other thing. So this is the newly up to date. So you get the date. What you passed in, just put it here. this the duration is say the counting point. The value maybe is 100. In this duration 2.75 will count up to this value instead show immediately. So just make it fancy. So this is pure material UI and pure React. This have a no functionality, won't interact with the everybody. So we call this is we are build it like a pure components. Now we're going to build the chart. Then I won't going to do it. I just copy paste. In here we are use the React chart JS-2. So we use the line and the bar. We only use these two. So if you have you could look at this library, find more detail how to use it. But the usage it is very simple. So this in this application we actually make some Ajax code. But this one talk later. We explain how to do this line and the bar first. So this chart is exactly the same. When I come to this page, I only consider the confirmed, recovered, and the date, and also the country will pass to this one. Once I come to here, this page, we'll make a first call to fetch the daily data, and then you set the initial daily data. Once you are successful, second thing, then you build these components. You use it. You build two components. This is just a pure from this library. This library accept the label and the data set. This you give the labels people, how many people, and then you will have a 3 corner. You see, you can design, you can change this color to whatever you liked, and but these values, so each one you have a 3 corner over there, and then you have over there, and then you have the option. The legend in here I didn't display it, and the title you display is true, and the text is a current state in the countries. The line bar it is exactly the same, so the usage actually quite simple. Also you get define this whole bus label, and the data set is the daily, and you only care about the confirmed, and give a different give a label. This is the affected one. You only concern and give the border the color. This is the confirmed color, and then you find the date the one, and you give the color is red. And this if you see, if you don't have, you won't show. So this internal say if you get the data, you actually from here, so data daily you get over there, set the daily, and but initial this page is empty, and then this will run once. Once this finish, you will update this one, then you have the daily data. If this one, the first, you only care about the first one, it is not no has value, then you publish. Otherwise display no. So this just these components. And also for the CSS, they also just make sure it not in the center. Also similar like you did in the cards, are going to create a CSS folder. And I'll copy paste this small CSS. This just make sure it layout in the middle. Just change the container. The design it use this design, and the color you actually used in here. I'm not sure if you could accept like a variable. Maybe like test it. And then go back to the report page. Now I'm going to use this page. And normally I like create the index page, and then I export this one. I will import the cards. This is just by myself. The folder needs small letter, but the components itself will use bigger letter. And I also need the chart. Then I export this chart. Before I move on, actually, did you see here I make the Ajax call? I import this from servers, but my servers is empty yet. So I need the list, need to have this. Did you see this chart? I need to have the list have this fetch daily data. I need, like I said, we are make Ajax call to this one, so I need definitely need the list have this one. And this is a asynchronous function. Then I convert, put in try catch block, and get a constant. So either get the data. I didn't analyze in here, but I will return the data. I didn't use fetch because the Excel actually will return all of the data, but the fetch return you promise. You need to use a promise.json. So this actually reduce you do an extra step. So I just use await excel.get and change. Daily, get the URL daily. Then you return this data. So the reason I didn't use the fetch because if you use fetch, this is promise. Then you need a constant await and JSON await JSON respond.json. I don't like to do extra work, so just return this one. Then you just mapping to what you needed. Okay, in my case, I only consider the confirmed int, and only the days, DATHS, and they actually return the report date. But I change it to date. So this is rename this one. The real data is a report date, and I'm mapping to date. So you get each data have a confirmed date and the report date. You change to date, and then you return this unconfirmed. You like show only the total, not everybody. So only care about the one value. So you just mapping it. Afterwards, then finish it. If I take this one, have a callback, I believe this need this one. Now it's done. So you take each item instead of got this one data, one icon. So you distracted to only take about the confirmed and the date, and the new part data. Confirmed is an object. You mapping it to only need the confirmed. Actually, the confirmed only care about the confirmed object, the total value. For the date, exactly the same. The date you already mapping, just put in here the date. If it is error, just return error. So just go back to what you usage in the chart. So I get this data, it will have the initial data, it will be the daily data, you see. In here, the daily data, you only care about the days, the confirms. Yeah, days confirms. So that's why you mapping previously. So instead you mapping in here. This for the chart. Now I need to reuse. I input this card and the chart into my report page. Then you could use it. Components. So I have a cards, chart. In here, like the cards already, the cards didn't make Ajax call, but the cards needed the data. So I just put in here. I will use like a fragment. So by default, going to here, you definitely make an Ajax call. So you will define fetch. So just before I type in, so in here, did you see here needed the data? So if I needed the data, so actually I didn't make an Ajax call, so the Ajax call will be there. So just make an Ajax call for fetching. By default, it country this page I start fetching, then I set the fetching. Use state. By default, it to true. I don't use it. Use state. Here also make Ajax call normal in the effection. The data suffix. The constants have the data will pass to the cards. The data set data. I just copy paste this, take too long typing. In here, you see I have a go back page. I will also have the history page. So actually need a few things. I have the control and I'll copy paste the design. So I have the style, but I haven't input the style yet. So just input the style. I need the history. The history is from the user browser, also from the. So you have the history. I could go back to the page. So this is the image. I don't have the image yet, so I import the image. And the image I will put in the back, put in here. Already I have a. This is my image. Go back image. So I have. So you see I have an image. So if your fetching is finished, if still in fetching, just in here. If fetch finished, then show this one, show the card. And then they select the country what you passed in. And this is the chart. And in here, I need to make an Ajax call. I just copy this one. The Ajax call is always inside the user effect. So I need a fetch data function. At the moment, I don't have it yet. So go in over there, build the fetch. Go here. So I have this fetch. So in here, I make a fetch call service. I'm going to copy paste over there, explain the code, what did it do. It is a synchronous call via accept the country. So you go into this URL, get the country, and you only concern is the confirmed, recovered, and the date. Once you get this via the data, instead of respond if you use Auxil. And then you return, if you get the data correct, you return the data, you kill it, otherwise you just return the error. So go back to your report page here. So you have the, if you fetch it, then you pass the data in and the country, and this is the chart. And I haven't read the CSS yet, so I'm going to copy the, instead typing, I'll copy the CSS report. This CSS also quite small, so just talk through it. So display flex, make sure this is only one corner in the middle. And this is the image, I just made it smaller and give a white background because it's a SVG file. And this, if you smaller than 7700, then give a little bit of padding. Look like it's fun. Let's test it now. If I have a bug, we just debug it. The cards in the index cannot, components index cards.js cannot. So it is a bug in here. They say cards inside the cards, then cards.js export the cards. Why? And the chart imports. So what I didn't know is in here, did you see? As I go to the cards to get a chart, the action is go to the CR chart, get a chart. Now compile is finished. So now going to here, refresh. We have one bug in here. Then we say channel. Here no noted because here report. The report say get a country from the parameter. So when I did the routing in here, I didn't put over there. This is how you define a parameter. It can be empty. So now I'm going to, it's working. So search Australia, if error Australia. Now it's fine. So only left to have a slightly CSS issue. Just I have a look at it. So the chart view and the cards view is exactly the same. So if you see what I expected in my published one, it's not in here. So it actually is in the local. So you go here, go to China. You expect 3 block, but actually you like move little bit down and have a space. If you see the CS in here, just say stay in the middle. So actually what I really need, I need each car. Just replace it because I put the non-CSF. So actually I expect that this one stay in the middle, give a match. And also need the card and the button different. I don't know this one. If you see here, then you have the color and they all different. Like I said, if I change this color, instead use this one, it's still working. So it is what I pick up and from the index to the JS to the CSS. So it can group available. So instead use that one, I just use this one. Use blue, this green, instead like this one, because you like a global, I say index, like a choose, you see. So you could consistently, because you probably you don't like have a multiple green in your page. And this red one, just use a red, because you don't like have a brown. Maybe suppose in Tencent in here doesn't, for some reason I don't know why doesn't show, so the cards. So that is the purpose I put in the index CSS, so in here you could pick up, and then you have the color just reflect. Also in here, let me test see if also could use in here. For example, if it is this one, could allow the user in your chart. Because the moment you actually write like this one, is this accept this one? But it suppose is variable. See it working or not? Doesn't work. If I put in a string inside a string, see it working or not? It also, yeah, actually it doesn't work. What I expect it is a blue. So in the chart itself actually cannot work. It only take a RGB value. Can it take a hex value? If I'm going to use the blue, then let's find it. Just see. I haven't tested because the demo they provided is like this one. So see this working or not? Yeah, so it accept a hex value, also this value. So I'm going to change it. Okay. The cards, the chart cards have the hex value. Yeah, never mind. So that's it for the report page. My next one, I will showcase how you deploy this one to GitHub page. Thank you for watching. That's it.